Good morning, everybody. I'm Greg Giglio, the principal of Homestead High School, and here with another edition of our weekly video message. And so this is the message for Friday, October 22nd. So again, trying different backgrounds here. So hopefully this one is also gets good reviews. But again, Friday, October 22nd. We have a couple of shout outs from our folks today. So first one goes out to Louise Garces. She is our student conduct liaison. And the quote in there was, for genuinely caring about the students, seeing beyond their exterior and reaching out to support them. So again, thank you, Louise, for doing that amazing work that you do. And Louise has been a longtime veteran here on campus. So she has seen a lot of kids and seen a lot of situations. So this is a nice one to do a shout out for. Michelle Uhara, actually more of a brand new teacher here on our campus, but she's a math teacher. And the quote for her was, she's such a fantastic addition to HHS, and I'm so impressed with her dedication to the students and their learning, as well as their social emotional well-being. So again, welcome you, Michelle, and congratulations on getting your first shout out. We also have a shout out from a teacher to another staff member. This was to Sean O'Hare, who's one of our IT guys. There was an ongoing tech problem and he was able to solve it. And so the teacher just wanted to say, I appreciate you, Sean, and appreciate your work ethic. So again, thank you to Louise, Michelle, and Sean for all the great things that you do. And thank you for sending those shout outs in. Again, keep those coming. It's always nice to hear nice, positive things. We do have some questions and concerns to go over today. So let's jump into those. This one has been a topic for 3 weeks in a row now, so I guess it's really on people's minds, but really don't have much more information than we've had the previous 2 times. It is still scheduled for Thursday, December 16th. Everything's kind of going ahead as normal right now, but obviously we need to just wait a little bit longer, and that's 2 months away almost, and see when what the restrictions are, if there are any, what things we can and can't do. But announcements will be coming in November as we get a little bit closer, so that we have some definite information that we can give to you. But again, it's happening. Mark your days for December 16th, and you'll start getting news pretty soon in November. Question about what is the schedule for first semester finals. So this was just finally approved and is now on our website. If you go into the Bell schedules, again, you go to About Us, go down to Bell schedules, and then click Special Bell schedules, and you'll find this graphic right here. But basically, it's very similar to final schedules we've had before. First day is Monday, 12/13. We have 2 finals every day, except for that Thursday. There's only 1 final. Finals are 2 hours or 120 minutes each. So we got periods 1 and 5 on Monday, 2 and 6 on Tuesday, 3 and 7 on Wednesday, and then Thursday we just have period 4. Then that is the end of school for the first semester for students. Friday there is no school, but it is a teacher workday. So teachers are here getting grades in, getting things finalized up for next semester. Now, grades don't come out for a week or 2 after we start the second semester. That's because there's often some makeup work that needs to be done and some other things that happen. So it's not an immediate final grade, but again, your teacher should have a pretty good idea of what your final grade is if you're looking at Schoology and that kind of thing. So again, this is our schedule coming up. Again, you can find it on our website. Where will kids eat on rainy days? I should have put a question mark there, so left that off. But anyway, we've already started this. This week has been a pretty cruddy week in terms of weather and just being windy and cold and at times raining. I did send an email out to our staff and students this week to kind of go over this topic. We are allowing students to eat indoors if raining or there are poor weather conditions. To be honest, even when it's kind of cruddy out, a lot of kids still like to sit outside. So but I think it just gave people more places to sit, kind of spread them out a bit. But anyway, the cafeteria space is open, the iHub is open, the student center, and all the hallways are open as well too. Some teachers do allow students to eat during lunch or brunch in their classroom, but they do have a right to a duty-free lunch, so they don't have to. Although there are some times when we're having like bad air quality days, that kind of thing, where we do ask and get everyone to open up their classroom so that we can get kids out of the bad air. But that's not the situation right now. This is just bad weather. But some teachers pretty much do allow this. So, your student just needs to ask the teacher if they're allowing it. And so, what has not changed, though, is students still have to wear masks indoors when not eating and at all times during class. There's no eating being allowed during class time. So I know this was a bit of a concern that maybe this was going to start eroding the mask mandate. It's not. You still have to wear, like if you're sitting inside a classroom and you're not eating and it's brunch or lunch, you still need to have your mask on. If you're outside and you're not eating, you need to have your mask on. And again, we are enforcing the no eating during class right now. So again, we just hope that gives a little bit more comfort. And we know that sitting outside may also bring on other, colds and flus and that kind of stuff. So we want to make sure we are keeping everybody as healthy as we can. So we are bringing kids inside and they want to for that. This was a question that we got. And so it said, my son said a friend of his got deported for a week and HHS is refusing to excuse the absences. Please tell me that is not true and it's a misunderstanding. Got to say, I had not heard of this one. So I checked with my admin team. I checked with my attendance clerk. None of us had actually heard of this one. But I have to say that, if a kid has been deported, it's usually longer for than a week. So I'm not sure the credibility of that statement. So I will be honest in that there are certain things that we can and can't excuse an absence for. So the state, and that comes from the state. And so they're the ones who determine what is excused, what is unexcused. And I would actually imagine, we've never been asked this before, but if a student had been deported out of the country, that is not an excused absence because that means they're here illegally. And so they don't have rights to being in the school. It probably wouldn't be excused, but this also brings up this question that there are times where parents call in and ask to excuse their kid. And according to the state, we can't excuse them. A good example of this is usually students going on college trips when they're going out and looking at and checking out colleges. The state of California actually says that's not excusable. What we do though is we verify. So that you might have an unexcused but verified absence. That means an adult is called in, has told us what it is. We log what that reason is. So teachers can see, oh, they're not just, cutting and going to the beach that day. They are actually doing something. And hopefully there's some communication going on between student and teacher as well to let them know that they're not going to be here. But again, that story, not familiar with that story, but typically probably wouldn't be excused. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that one. This was also a rather long thing and also talked specifically about a specific administrator, but again, I'm not going to give the name. I'm just going to sort of talk about the generals here. So this parent was concerned that admin is hiding and waiting to catch kids without masks, that we thought this was kind of ridiculous and that we should have other priorities. To be quite honest, we don't have time to sit around and hide and wait for kids to do that kind of stuff. That's not what we do. We do believe, though, that keeping students safe and staff safe is a priority. And so mask mandate is part of that. Now, to be honest, we don't have to hide and wait for kids. We are out and about doing supervisions for brunches and lunches and out before school and after school. And so anytime we see kids without a mask, we are, reminding them to pull it up. I got to say, though, we're at a point where we're kind of done with the warnings. And if we've seen a kid that we're telling multiple times to have pulled up their thing, we are starting to hand out detentions. We even had some students removed from our football game for refusing to wear their masks properly. So we are still enforcing it. We are still taking it very seriously. Again, we are not, though, sitting around and doing this instead of other things. So, and again, I would just ask that kids continue to wear their masks and we can go do other things and find other priorities too. This was a long one too, but I wanted to go through it because there's some confusion on this one. So the whole question was, school phone alerts should be used for important/serious issues affecting our children or school. Sending out a phone alert to check an email for a reminder about a vaccine clinic being held next week is extremely frustrating and a waste of parents' time. I left an important work meeting to take the call and then spent over an hour waiting, watching for the email. If you want parents to take these seriously, please consider when and how the resources are used. So here's the confusion that came up. The district did send an email out about an upcoming vaccine clinic that's being held this weekend at Homestead. We, at the same time, had sent out a phone message about our 7th positive case of COVID, which we then say, please check your emails to look because your student is potentially a close contact. So again, it looks like some of the communication got a little crossed up here. Our phone message that sent sort of a robocall only went out to a limited number of people. It went to those who were considered close contacts, and there are protocols in that email that we ask you to look out for. If you got that phone call but didn't get that particular email, please let us know, because then there's some glitch in the system there, where because we send that email to the parents of the students who are considered close contacts. So again, two totally different things. And I agree with you. A phone message should be an important or all school kind of thing, like, hey, it's back to school night tomorrow night kind of thing, or, hey, there's been this emergency, or hey, your student could be potentially a close contact. Those are the kinds of things we use the school message or school phone system for. So again, apologize for the confusion. I'm sorry that you left your meeting. But again, our issue was more about the 7th positive case of COVID. Do want to let you know that there is a 3rd food location being added. This was something that people were asking for in the beginning of the year. And we said, well, we're going to wait and kind of see where this is. It's also a little bit difficult to do, but we have actually seen an increase in students coming and getting lunch from our system. We actually kind of expected a little bit of a decrease. We thought maybe the novelty of, free lunches would kind of wear off and that we'd start to slow down a bit. Actually, we one of the only schools in the district where our numbers are going up. We've been serving close to 1,000 students at lunchtime every day. And so that's up from the 500, 600, 700 that we had earlier. So we really do need another cart. So right now we have the cafeteria where we serve food, the food service area. We have a food cart in front of the student center, and we're adding a food cart to inside the cafeteria. And so not in the actual food service area, but where students sit. And so now we'll have 3 points of purchase. The 2 carts do have a limited amount of food. Obviously we can't stack those up with tons and tons of food. But so once those run out, we then close those down and everyone goes over to the food service area. But again, that first cart that we added really helped get the food service line going faster. But now that we're getting more kids, we're going to add this 3rd one. And so again, inside will always be open. They don't run out of food. The 2 carts outside might run out of food, but then you go over to the inside food service place. And just a reminder that please have your students bring their ID card to scan for food. Again, we are not using the number punchers anymore, so we need to have them scan. Then they can also do it by taking a picture of their card, so the front and back of their card. So that's a little hack for you, so they can get through if they don't want to carry their card. But again, there's no reason why they shouldn't carry the card. But again, 3rd food service location being added start of next week. Again, here are our important dates. There really haven't been any additions or changes to some of these things. These are the same kind of numbers that have been coming up. We are getting close to our 2nd grading period, which is on November 5th. So again, just an important date to really think about, because that means, it's a snapshot. It's not a permanent grade, but it's one of those things that'll tell you how close you are to getting the grade that you want or getting out of the grade that you don't want. We got a couple holidays coming up. We have the 4-day weekend for Veterans Day. And again, we added that Friday in. So because the Veterans Day is a Thursday, so we have 2 days in a row. So it's a 4-day weekend. We also have a kind of 4.5-day weekend for Thanksgiving. So there's a special schedule on the 23rd, which is a shorter day. And then we have the Thursday and the Friday off. And then just because it's coming up, man, people are talking about it's the end of first semester and winter formal on December 16th. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. So again, that's why that 2nd grading period is pretty important, because we are running out of time here pretty soon for semesters. And that's when the grade does become final and it goes on to your transcript. So still time to get things fixed, still time to talk to teachers and the counselors and the other folks to get your resources. But again, thank you all again for your questions and comments and shout outs. Please keep those coming. We will be back next week with another edition, and hope to have my guest star this next week. Kind of had some issues with my last 2 guest stars, and so had to kind of switch things around. And so again, you just got me today, but thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.